Welcome to Finance Enterprise How to Create Work Assignments training. This training is for individuals who have been approved to create requisitions in Finance Enterprise on behalf of their department or division. It will help you to understand how to navigate Finance Enterprise to create requisitions for work assignments. In this training, you will learn what is a work assignment, how to create a work assignment, approving a work assignment, and copying a work assignment, receiving and printing receiving sign-off sheet. What is a work assignment? Work assignments are created for use with a master term agreement. When a county-wide need for routinely purchased services has been identified, the procurement division will solicit these services for a blanket term agreement. A contract will be negotiated by procurement outlining the services to be provided and the costs associated with those services. When a department needs to purchase services from a blanket term agreement, they must first obtain a scope of work, also known as a SOW or sometimes referred to as a vendor work assignment, from the vendor. Create a work assignment itemizing it to match the scope of work, which will reflect the pricing from the contract. Have the work assignment approved by your department or division manager. Submit the scope of work and the work assignment to procurement as backup documentation for procurement to begin processing the work assignment. It is imperative that the scope of work pricing matches the negotiated pricing on the master term agreement. Also, a vendor cannot start work on a project without a work assignment that is approved and printed by the procurement division. Creating a work assignment. The path to create a work assignment is POU PPR. From the Fiscal User Standard layout, you can enter POU PPR in the search bar in the top right corner of the workspace and click on Purchase Request. Or in the workspace, click on the Procurement tab, then in the Processing component, click on POU PPR. Click on the plus icon at the top left of screen. Click on the PR field. You will see a lightning bolt appear next to the PR field. Click on the icon lightning bolt and select PRWA. The system will assign the next available number. Click on the PO field. You will see a lightning bolt appear next to the PO field. Click on the icon lightning bolt and select POWA. The system will assign the next available number. Click on the drop-down to select your security code. If you have access to multiple security codes, select the security code for this requisition. Click on the Requested By field and enter the person's name that is requesting this purchase along with their extension number. Click on the Vendor ID field and enter the vendor ID. If unknown, click on the keyboard icon or Control-L and the data lookup screen will open. In the data lookup screen, type the vendor name in the name column blank field, hit the Tab button or click on OK. To select the vendor, highlight and click on the required name, select the PO address code, then click on OK or double-click the vendor name. Using wildcards, asterisks, is also an option when only a portion of the vendor's name is known. In the Details tab, in Use field, use this field to enter a brief description of the purchase. In the Blanket tab, enter the blanket term agreement number. In the Ship To field, enter the Ship To ID. To search for the Ship To ID, click on the keyboard icon. The data lookup screen will appear. Type your department or division name in the blank name field and hit Enter or OK. Select the Ship To address by highlighting and clicking on OK or double-clicking the address. All Ship To addresses will begin with the letter S. In the Items tab, enter quantity, units, description, and unit price. Type your description in all caps. If you will be making partial payments, it is advisable to put the dollar value in the quantity field and 1 in the unit price field. Otherwise, when you receive, you'll be receiving 1 at lump sum. In the Notes tab, enter quote information or information that does not need to be printed on the purchase order in PR Notes. For the account, enter account key and object code information. You may click on the ellipsis next to the work order field to find the account key and/or object code. Saving your requisition, hit Enter or click on the Save Changes button on the left navigation toolbar when done. You will receive a record accepted message at the top right corner of the screen. Note the work assignment number in case you must leave the screen and locate the record later. If you do not receive a record accepted message but receive a budget warning, you do not have sufficient funds. Take the necessary steps to move money into the account. When your requisition is ready to be submitted through the workflow for approval, follow the steps on the next slide. Approving a work assignment. When the requisition is ready for manager approval, you, the originator, must from the workspace in the POU PPR screen, open the requisition, click on Pending Tasks on the left navigation toolbar, click on Approve, or you may approve in tasks in your workspace. Ensure Group Tasks is off. Write any necessary comments in the Add Comment window and then click on Submit. Once you have approved the requisition, you will receive a successfully updated task message on screen, and it will electronically route to the manager for approval. Once the manager has approved the requisition, the system will display a check next to the requisition that has been sent to workflow showing it has been submitted on the Approvals tab. The requisition will route to the Procurement Division for processing. Send an email to purchasing@mymanatee.org, including in your subject line the purchase requisition number, and attach your supporting documentation to the email. If you do not have any documentation to attach to the email, please indicate that in your email. Copy of work assignment. Once a work assignment has been approved by procurement, it will be printed by procurement. An electronic copy will be sent to the requisition originator and the vendor. A copy of the work assignment is also available through OnBase. Departments should not print or reprint a work assignment in one solution. Receiving. The path to receive is POU PRC. When you have received the services and/or goods and an invoice from the vendor, go to POU PPR, enter your requisition number, hit enter. Click on the Screen Links tab on the left navigation toolbar of your screen. You can also enter POU PRC in the search bar at the top of the screen, then click on Receiving Information and enter the purchase order information. Select Receiving Information. The POU PRC screen will open and auto-populate with the requisition information if you use the Screen Links tab. In the Date Received field, this will auto-populate with the current date. You may enter a different date if needed. In the Packaging field, enter the invoice number or month, year of service. Purchase Order Items tab. For partial receiving on a PO, click on Manual. If all the items have been received, you may also click on Fully Received rather than receiving multiple items individually. Enter quantity accepted and click Done. Click on Save Changes button to update the record. You will receive a Record Accepted message. Close the POU PRC screen. You may now print your receiving sign-off sheet. The path to print the receiving sign-off sheet is POR ERS. You can enter that in the search bar on the workspace. Then click on the receiving sign-off sheet, or in the Procurement tab, Processing Component, you can simply click on POR ERS. In the Receiving Sign-Off POR ERS screen, enter the PO number. The receiving date will auto-populate with the current date. You may enter a different date if needed, but it must be the same date entered in the Date Received field of the receiving screen. Leave other fields checked. Leave the line printer as archived, then click on the Submit button. You will receive a message Job Submitted and the job number. Close the POR ERS screen. Go to your Jobs component on your workspace, click on Refresh. Your job should show with all the details under Jobs, including a status of completed. Under Attachments, you will find the tail sheet and doc receiving sign-off sheet. Click on the doc number to open the receiving sign-off sheet. Click on the printer icon at the top right corner of the document. Your receiving sign-off sheet will print to your default printer, or you may click on the download arrow to save a copy. Click on Close tab at the bottom right corner of the doc to close out your document. The invoice, supporting documents, and receiving sign-off sheet should be sent to Finance for payment. Thank you for completing Finance Enterprise Training, How to Create Work Assignments. If you have any questions or need assistance with creating work assignments, please contact us at extension 3014.